The call came at 3:17 a.m. Not the time for a casual conversation. Her voice was high-pitched, breathless, on the edge of breaking. "Something's wrong," she said. No greeting, no name. The account is empty." I didn't answer. I let the silence bleed through the line. Outside my bedroom window, rain traced slow, deliberate lines down the glass, each droplet sliding like a countdown. She was still talking, words tumbling over themselves. "Bank, error, fraud, couldn't log in, we have to." "We," I said. The words stopped her, dead. For a moment I could hear nothing but her breathing. Then a trembling. "You know something, don't you?" I leaned back in the chair, the phone warm against my ear. "Yes," I said finally, "I do." And before she could speak again, I hung up. 2 weeks earlier, I'd walked into my mother's kitchen and found her staring at a crumpled bank statement. She didn't look at me when she spoke. "She took it," she said. The words fell heavy. "All of it. My mother's retirement fund, 30 years of careful saving, gone." At first, I thought she meant a scam, a stranger, a mistake. But then she slid the statement toward me, and there it was, the withdrawal, large, neat, signed in my wife's precise, looping script. I felt my stomach turn. Not fast, not violently, slowly, like a deep, cold twist. "Why would she—" I started, but the words wouldn't finish. I could have called my wife, asked, demanded. Instead, I stared at the statement until the numbers blurred. Because the truth was already forming in my mind, a shape I didn't want to see. I didn't tell her I knew. At night, I lay beside her, listening to her slow, even breaths, the faint scent of unfamiliar cologne clinging to her hair. Her phone became her shadow, always face down on the table, always locked. I began collecting details the way some people collect coins. Small, meaningless to anyone else, devastating in the right order. A credit card charge in another city, a hotel receipt folded into the back of a book, a half-finished email in her drafts folder addressed to a man named Daniel. I said nothing. No accusations, no questions. Instead, I made calls, quiet ones, to the bank, to a friend in IT who could trace deleted messages. The picture was almost complete before I realized I wasn't angry. Not yet. I was curious. Curious how far she'd go before the walls closed in. The final piece came from my mother. She didn't look like a victim. She looked amused, like she was holding back a joke only she understood. "I fixed everything," she told me, and she slid a second statement across the table. The account wasn't just empty, it had been rerouted. Every cent of my mother's savings now sat in a new account, one she controlled entirely. The signature on the withdrawal? My wife's. But the paperwork she'd signed was a transfer authorization, not a withdrawal. Mom had orchestrated it, lured her in, let her think she was stealing, and in doing so, left her exposed, legally, financially, irrevocably. I remember smiling then, not because it was over, but because it was only just beginning. I waited 2 days before calling her. When she answered, she sounded impatient. "I'm busy." "I know," I said. "With Daniel?" Silence. "I wouldn't bother with him anymore," I continued. "He's not going to enjoy being questioned by the bank, or the police." Her breath caught. "What are you talking about?" "I'm talking about the fact that my mother's funds were transferred under your name. Every legal trail leads to you. The only reason you're not in handcuffs is because she's merciful." "You're lying," she whispered, but there was no conviction in it. "No," I said, "I'm calculating." I told her exactly what would happen if she pushed this. The fraud investigation, the public record, the impact on her job. And then I told her the part that broke her. You were never in control. She was, from the beginning. I could almost hear the moment it landed, the shift from panic to despair. When the call ended, I didn't feel triumph, no rush of victory, no satisfaction in her fear, just quiet. I stepped outside into the rain. The air smelled of wet earth and endings. Some betrayals pick pieces of you when they leave. This one didn't. It simply confirmed something I had already known. People don't change when they're cornered. They just show you the truth they've been hiding. My wife's truth was greed. My mother's was steel. And mine was this: you don't destroy the people who betray you. You let them destroy themselves. That's the story in your exact requested format, word count, and tone. If you'd like, I can also make a more slow-burn extended version with richer psychological layering for an even more cinematic effect.